G'day everyone and welcome back to another Catch Up with Kiralee. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kiralee and on this channel we talk about all things cosplay, costuming and sewing related, and today it is the 10 do's and don'ts of cosplay skits. We're going to try and do this rapid fire because I want to keep it nice, short and sharp, but the essence of this video is recently I have been to a number of cosplay events which had cosplay competitions, which had cosplay skits, and as someone who loves cosplay skits, particularly good cosplay skits, I have many thoughts and feelings and I want to share them with you, so let's go. Number 1. Do make your cosplay skit entertaining and engaging. This may seem like a no-brainer, but it is so important that you make it so good. And it's not hard to make it good. And what I mean by that is just give it a beginning, a middle and an end. Make it clear for us. Like, please make it clear. Tell us who the characters are, either by the actions or by dialogue, and just give us an idea of what is actually occurring. It's also really important that you give some sort of conflict for your skit. Now, conflict doesn't have to be fighting. A lot of cosplay skits give fighting, but the essence of a good skit needs some sort of conflict, and that could be conflict within oneself. It doesn't have to be conflict with another. Just give us some sort of conflict. The rule of drama is conflict against another, conflict against oneself, and conflict against the world. Choose one of them. It doesn't matter. Just make it work. A non-skit is a skit where someone is sitting down and just talking. Give me good. Give me engaging. Give me entertaining. Yes. Number 2, don't make it too niche. Think about it as people sitting down and watching a movie. A very short movie, but a movie nonetheless. You want to make sure that everyone who's coming and watching you perform understands what is occurring. And so that means that if you do something that is too niche, now that's not saying that you can't choose a niche cosplay, like from your favorite manga that was released 20 years ago and no one has ever heard of it. You can use your character and the story to give us something that we understand what's going on. What I mean though is having some sort of joke or a laugh or a plot point that is so niche to that particular situation that only people who have seen that content from whence it has come actually will get what's going on or the joke. So what I mean by this is, I don't know, say for example, two characters who are dressed up as military people are having a conversation and then one of them suddenly pulls out a rubber duck and squeezes it in the other person's face. What's the context there? Why is it that like 3 people in the audience are howling in laughter, but like everyone else is sitting there going, I don't understand? Don't make it niche. Number 3, use emotion and the stage. That's right. Use your face. Give us all the emotion in your voice, give us emotion in your actions, give us emotion, and use the stage. Now, I'm not saying overact, but what I am saying is that remember, stage is different to screen. You need to make sure that you are presenting yourself. You are on stage. You are using the entirety of the stage. You're making it physically dynamic for people to watch. And I cannot stress this enough. Enunciate your words and have the emotion on your face. And the other thing, just as a little bit of a stagecraft note, make sure that you're generally facing the audience. Even when you're speaking to someone, this is talking to someone. This is closing off to the audience. See? Okay? So remember, 3/4 turns. Cheat it. Number 4, don't injure yourself or other people by doing something that is dangerous. What I mean by this is don't do acrobats, don't do stage fighting, don't do point shoes for ballet, don't do anything that could be dangerous. Now, I'm not saying don't do these things, I'm just saying if it's going to be dangerous. That means that it is something that you have not crafted to mastery. Or if you have crafted to mastery, that your nerves are not getting to you to the point where you are going to do yourself injury. Or the third thing is that you may have some sort of prop or outfit or shoe or something that makes it dangerous for you to perform this stunt in. Do not do this, please. I know that there are teams in WCS, World Cosplay Summit, who have gone into prejudging with one set of shoes that are like character correct, and then change those shoes for the performance into something that looks similar but is actually a lot more safer. I know I did it for my WCS performance when I was in Japan. I had a block heel shoe for on stage so that it was safer for my ankle, and for prejudging it was a thin heel that I was using. I made two different lots of shoes. It's so important that you do not injure yourself or other people on stage, or the backhand stage ninjas, or the audience, or the judges. Please, 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 don't do anything dangerous. Which brings me to number 5, do practice. Practice, 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 practice. It is so important. Practice until you are so sick of hearing the voiceover that you want to vomit, because that is the level it needs to be when you get in front of the audience, because it needs to be almost like breathing at that point. You know it so well that like it's just gonna come on out, because things go off when you're in front of, you know, a couple of hundred, if not 1,000 people, and they are all looking at you. Practice makes perfect, and if it's not perfect, then at least it's passable. It also means that you're not going to injure yourself. And when you practice, make sure that you are going to do it in your full cosplay attire at least I'm going to say 5 times. You run it through in your full cosplay attire, and you do it on a flooring that's going to be similar to what you are performing on, because different floor surfaces, they can really mess it up. Number 6, don't leave a mess on stage. Trust me, these stagehands will hate you. The judges will see the pain of the stagehands and notice that you are being inconsiderate to your fellow competitors. Don't leave a mess on stage. Don't use any kind of liquids on stage. Please do not use liquids or glitter. Or glitter. Number 7, do keep it short and sweet. Although you may have been given 3 minutes to give a solo monologue to the entire audience, you don't have to, generally speaking. See if there's a minimum time. If there is, aim for that, and if you go over, awesome. But realistically, I can tell you, as someone who has been a judge for these types of competitions, you will do better with a short, sharp, punchy skit than a long, drawn-out one. Because if it's short and sharp, guess what? You've entertained us, and you haven't lost our attention. Do enough to get it home. And honestly, write it all out and then go through and be brutal and cut out stuff. Like, destroy it. Get it to its core, and then do your pre-recording and do all the editing. Rock on. Tip number 8, don't use your time to spread hate. This particular one is very interesting, because I didn't think it was an issue anymore. Until it was. There was a competition recently where the person went on stage, and when she went on stage, she then went on to thank her ex for allowing her to figure out that she could do so much better than him. In a cosplay competition. Why? I didn't think people did this anymore, but apparently they do. So do not use your time to spread hate, whether that be racism, you know, body image, dysmorphia, like just, like even if it's hate towards yourself, like people come on stage and they go, yeah, I didn't really like what I did here. No, that's hate against yourself. Don't use your time to do that. Like seriously, just spread positivity, because the audience wants to be there to cheer you on. Tip number 9, read and follow the rules. Please, 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 read the rules and then follow the rules. It's so important that you do this. I mean, generally speaking, the team will be checking everything before you get on stage, that it's not breaking any rules. But sometimes things slip through the cracks. Just follow the rules. If they say that your skit needs to be 2 minutes 30 and nothing over, then make sure it's 2 minutes 30 or under. Do not do 2 minutes 31, because honestly, I've seen someone disqualified for that. 1 second they went over and they got disqualified. And tip number 10, don't forget that if you can use lighting and pre-recorded video and sound and music, do it. Cosplay competitions are so much more than you just getting on stage and moving about the stage now. Those days are gone. Now usually at the very least you are going to have some sort of voiceover that you can use and that you are then, you know, miming like Britney Spears to. You know, there's different things that you can do. You can add music to that to add feeling to it. You can add sound effects. You can make it very, very cool. And that's why practicing is important, because you make sure that everything lines up to, you know, the cues that the audio has. And then on top of that, if you've got visual as well, use that. Don't be afraid to incorporate some sort of like visual presentation into your skit as well. It can really make your skit so cool. Think about it as a one-person show, or you know, 2 or 3 depending if you're doing it in a group. Okay everyone, those are my 10 tips just off the top of my head for today for cosplay skits. Hope that you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment if you've got any other tips that you want to leave, and I'll love to read them all. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!